Don't sit there, young fella, because Pat Boone, remember the old singer? He's coming in a little bit later, and I don't want
Oh, I've
you
been a fan
in
of his
chair.
for so long.
Have you? Who is
Yeah.
this teenager that butted into our program?
Oh, you don't know Pat Boone.
That's
Pat
not
Boone,
Pat
this
Boone.
is-
That's his oldest son.
This is Jack Carney.
Well, I met Pat Boone years ago.
Is that the original? I was just thinking, A Day Without Jack Carney.
Yes.
There's a day
Is
without
a day
sunshine.
without roughage.
See, didn't I tell you?
Oh, my. He looks very good, doesn't he?
You
I thought he was
don't
on
believe it.
tape when he
What's
came.
your number?
Well, now we've got a public service to continue with. Pat Boone can just help out if he has. If you have a problem, go
Tell
ahead.
that woman to keep on trucking.
Keep on trucking.
Yeah.
Hello?
Hello, Miss Blue.
Hello.
Hello, Miss Blue. The other day you had a caller got off to a terrible start with his marriage, and he had to go get his wife donuts. And
Oh, yes.
I got thinking about that,
Yeah.
and it really worried me. I wondered if maybe you might tell him to mention the good-looking gal that's giving him the donuts in the bag
Oh, yes.
to take home.
Well, you know what she could, after all, though, now you can buy the frozen donuts and
Right, and keep him
put them
home
in the
and
oven,
you don't have to go get her
Right.
something, and that's a little bit better start for marriage.
I think I lost control here.
Hey,
Go ahead, sir.
Hey, my problem is I can't seem to color coordinate things, and when people tell you how bad you do, you don't feel loved. What can I do?
What is it that you can't seem to coordinate, sir?
Carpeting with decorations, with wallpaper, with everything.
Oh, I see. Well, what can you do about that, Miss Blue? You've given advice before on interior decorating.
Well, I mean, after all, nowadays, you don't have to follow a set pattern.
No, look at Boone's outfit. You can wear anything
Oh,
with
yeah.
anything. The
Early
stripes
Asylum.
with the tweed with early asylum.
Yeah, you don't have to follow a set pattern. I mean, you can go into homes now. They have one wall of one color, another wall of another color, floor 2 or 3 different colors.
Mm-hmm.
And when they say something about it, just start Mr. Lived-in look. That's what
Lived
you like.
in. Lived in. That's good. Hello there. Did you have a question for Miss Blue? We're running short of time.
Yeah, I have a little brother, and he's always become attached to me, and I don't know how to get him away.
Oh, maybe he's a parasite. What do you mean by attached? Puts his little arms around your little neck.
No, they're Siamese twins.
Oh, is that what
Yeah.
it is? How old is your little brother?
He's 1.5, and he just keeps following me around, and he never goes near my mom, and when I leave, he'll cry all the time.
For heaven's sakes, how old are you?
12.
I think that's pretty nice, don't you, Miss Blue?
Well, yes, if the child doesn't have a nervous breakdown in between. But see, the mother is smart. See, the
Yeah.
mother has taught the baby. Now, y'all
Follow
are
the
near
sister.
age, so you follow the sister around.
Yeah.
So near time you come to the mother, she gives him a pat on the, where it do the most good. So he run to his sister for protection.
Mm-hmm.
So
Well, now you ought to be an expert on that. You have about 300-400 children, don't you?
Yeah. Oh, I've lost track, but
Yeah.
it is a lot. But I never had that male variety.
All girls.
All girls.
For
yeah.
heaven's
So I never
sakes.
had a little brother.
You'll be a professional wedding giver one of these
Oh,
days.
I already am.
Are you
Already
really?
2 of them are married.
Didn't
we had-
realize.
within
Looking
a-
at you, that's so hard to believe.
In fact, I could show you. I
You've
can't
got a
show your
picture.
audience, but a picture of my grandson, little
oh,
Ryan
yeah, I
Patrick.
remember
Now
when-
you and Miss Blue can see,
Yeah.
and you can just give me a candid opinion of
Uh-huh.
whether you think he is probably the handsomest little kid of 5.5 months you ever saw or not. And you can be honest, Miss Blue.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember when he was born.
You do.
Yeah.
Beg your pardon?
Well,
I remember.
I've lost control.
I didn't even
Go
know
ahead.
you were there, but
Let me see the
Well, I
picture.
mean,
Yeah.
it was on the networks. I remember on
He was born on the
Diana's.
network. Boone will get anything
Yeah.
sponsored.
No, I know what you mean. And the pictures really were picked up all over the world. I've been getting back clippings from Paris newspapers and African and all over Europe and the Orient, because evidently it struck people as odd that I should become a grandfather this early in my
Well, it's
mid-30s.
very rarely that a guy becomes a grandfather before his voice changes.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is. He is an attractive kid. I'll say that for him.
Well,
he's not bad looking at all.
yeah. For a 5, give him time. He's only
Yeah.
5 months old.
Is that your first grandchild?
First.
I
first
hope
and
I
only,
handle
and
it
a
as
boy.
well.
Let me see this.
Oh, yes.
I'm sorry, Miss
Pass
Blue.
the pictures around. In
His
fact,
name is Patrick Ryan.
Ryan Patrick.
Ryan
Ryan
Patrick.
And they're going to call him Ryan. I call him Rip.
Rip?
Rip, because his initials are RP, and Rip just seems like a real masculine name. And,
Yeah.
And also because he does quite frequently.
Masculines? Oh, he
No.
rips. He rips.
Yes, yes.
He's a
And-
ripper, is what
yeah,
you're
that's
saying.
right.
Oh, really? We had that once before here, didn't we, Clarence? Oh, that's
But
swell.
Pat,
Well,
he is adorable. Now,
Isn't he?
now you will really see the enjoyment of children. You think that you enjoy your own, but
Yeah.
your grandchildren, they bring all the joy to you. That's what Jack is waiting
that's
for.
right.
You know,
I'm waiting for
he's
what?
just too young yet
For
for
grandkids.
John. For John to
Yeah.
get married, so
My
he can
son's
have.
only 14. He's not about to make
Oh
me
no,
a
ask him to
grandfather.
hold off a couple of years.
Yeah, I keep putting stuff in his orange juice anyway. We're out of time, Miss Blue. Give Pat Boone and all is well.
Oh, Pat, thank you for coming in, and all is well.
It is.
And thank you for for letting me see the picture.
And here's a
Right.
word from St. Ann Dodge, who paid for this terrible mess here. Bill Wilkerson is here with our sports capsule. We'll get to that in a minute. Did you meet Pat Boone?
Yes, I did. I've been a long-time fan of Pat Boone.
Remember him when you were a kid, don't you?
Oh, yes.
Me too.
Yes.
You just said he saw me on the Dick Clark.
Well, Bill and I
American
used to
Best Center.
dance to some of those
Yes,
great old.
indeed. Weren't those the days?
Yeah, what was that one?
They used to
Ben's
talk
a
about
dream.
you a lot when
Yeah.
you did that.
What?
When you and Bill were dancing.
Let
to
me
my
tell you
record.
something. When Bill asks you to dance, you get
You
up and
just
you
go-
dance. Ask him to dance, Bill. I want to see Pat Boone leap to his feet. Did you ever dance with a grandfather? Would you believe this young guy, have you got a match, is a grandfather? A grandfather.
It's remarkable. You
Isn't
know,
that remarkable?
It is
Well,
remarkable.
I shouldn't talk about it really, because that's not the most commercial thing for a guy still making records and pop songs and working in an open shirt and stuff like that.
You and Dick Clark must have the same doctor or something.
Well, there may be some of the same genes back there. Maybe he's descended from Daniel Boone. I think maybe that has something to
Are
do
you a
with it.
descendant of
Oh
Daniel?
yeah, I'm a direct descendant of Daniel, great grandson.
I never knew that until
Mhm.
this minute.
Maybe Daniel found that fountain that Ponce de Leon was looking for.
The
down
fountain
in
of
Florida.
youth.
Yes.
Well,
You can tell.
I'd settle for discovering the water they make Coors beer with. We're doing okay. I told a little story earlier that I think is a cute story. When you were at the Grammys some years ago wearing your maroon tuxedo and red patent leather shoes.
Oh yeah.
And when you went off, Freeberg was the MC, and he said Pat was going to do another song, but he couldn't stay around. He had to get the shoes back to the Vatican. Do you remember that?
Yes, I do. And I said, no, I cut my leg shaving.
We're going to do our sports capsule in just a minute. If you were raised here in St. Louis, well, Pat Boone is here this morning, and it was awfully nice of him to. I know it's not easy getting across the street from the hotel in your walker.
No,
Grandpa.
but I do it just most any day. A day
you?
without Jack Carney
It's like
is a
off again. Listen, I got an offer this morning. You're going to be in town. I got a telegram this morning that says, since you continually ignore St. Louis's important new cultural event, the Opera Theater of St. Louis, may we draw your attention to it by offering you a non-singing role of the dead body in Puccini's opera, which will receive its premiere at the Loretta Hilton Saturday, May 21st at 8 o'clock. They pay $5 and transportation. They're supplying dial-a-hearse will pick you up for each performance. I checked that date and I'm busy. You want to make an easy 5?
Well, when is it?
It's the 21st, May 21st at 8 o'clock, and they'll send a hearse for you. Oh, you'll be working.
Yeah. Maybe you should do it. I think, that's a role like that doesn't come along every day.
No, you just lie there.
Opera, you could say, yes, I've done opera.
Yeah, I
think
could,
it
couldn't
would
I?
be, yeah. And you might even hum a little there in the
Yeah.
background. Yeah. And I think that would be
You
fantastic.
just lie there for an
You
hour.
could
I
suppose
thought of a
this, sir?
couple people immediately who could handle that.
But I think the way my mind works anyway,
Yes.
I would, if I
Except
were going to be here, well, I would do it, yeah. And I would
I
make
should,
quite a thing of it.
I should listen to you
Mhm.
as my showbiz mentor.
Sure. How many times do radio guys get to actually do opera? And this is a bona fide, I suppose it's a bona fide
I
offer.
think it is. They didn't send the $5, but they
And
sent.
you probably wear whatever you want. And,
Sure, because you're probably in the
Mhm.
box. Doesn't make any difference.
hmm
I was going to mention it to Wilkerson, but I
Can
don't
you
know
imagine
how big a box they're going to supply for the performance.
if that whole opera audience knew that you were up there in that,
Yeah.
you were the dead man?
Oh, I'm such a ham. I'd get up in the
You'd-
middle of the second act.
You wouldn't
and
have
wave.
to. You wouldn't have to.
No?
The whole focus, I guarantee you, for the whole evening,
Did it be
if
me
you were doing it,
lying there?
the whole focus would be on you for the whole opera performance.
Yeah.
I don't care what they sing, how well they do it. Everybody knows Jack Carney
Is in
is
there.
the corpse.
Well, I might not be on stage for the whole thing. I can't imagine them having the dead body there all 3 acts.
I
They'd
guarantee you would be the star of that particular performance.
probably whip me on and whip me off. We're going to, we haven't mentioned yet where Pat's appearing or anything like that, and we will, but I want to talk to you about Aunt Nellie's Beats before I do anything else. Pat Boone is here. I hope you weren't listening earlier, because I really said some nice things about you, and I don't necessarily say nice things about people.
I just heard you singing April Love, which I
What'd
thought,
you
I
think?
thought was amazing for this time of the day.
Yeah.
I wouldn't try to sing it this early,
Wouldn't you?
especially after 2 shows the night before.
Yeah. Shows, I got your schedule here somewhere. Pat Boone at you're going to be at Westport Plaza tomorrow at 2 o'clock.
Yeah, that's a little extracurricular activity.
Yeah. And
They're making it Pat Boone Day out there, I think.
it's Pat Boone Day at Westport Plaza.
Mm-hmm. But what's the time on that, Shelley? I think it's about 1.
I've got it right here. 12:30
12:30 to 2.
until 2 o'clock.
And I don't know how they make what they do when they make it a Pat Boone Day at a big shopping mall, but I'll find out. I'll let you know. But the main thing is I'm appearing at the at the Ramada Inn, the
Breckenridge Ramada Inn.
Breckenridge. I don't know why I find it hard to think of that particular name, but anyway, the Breckenridge. Everybody knows about in Fenton. Yeah,
in Fenton. Yes, everyone here knows where Fenton is. We try not to go there, but we know where Fenton
it's
is.
a lovely place.
It is, and it's a great room too. The Breckenridge.
Yeah, it is, and we had a great opening night.
Did you ever hear what happened to Nancy Wilson there?
No.
She played the room where you are, and there was a terrible rainstorm that night, and the room was packed. This is true, and there was a leak in the roof, which nobody knew, and she started singing "Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head," and the water started coming through the ceiling right behind her onto the band, and everybody thought it was part of the act.
Effect.
Yeah.
How did she manage that?
I don't know. I really don't know.
But nowadays, is there a water shortage in this part
No,
of the country?
no.
That's
Your home is California.
Yeah, and we really are. I mean, if that started happening in my act, I'd put a bucket under it and save it.
And take it home with you.
I'd work free.
I mentioned earlier that, as I said, I'm glad you didn't hear it. I said that of the many, because I was in the rock and roll thing doing this, of the many, many recording stars, very few had any talent. And I think that was proved because very few had any staying ability. They're all gone now.
Well, I'd say they had talent, but it just
for the time,
it's hard to adapt to the changes that take place. Yeah.
Some of them, if you listen to some of the hit records from the 50s today, they are vile.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you a group that I thought was sensational, and I listened to them today. I can't believe that I ever listened to them before. And I like all the guys. The Kingston Trio. They were so good then and are so unmusical. The old records today. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, but that was a time when and I think we're still having some of that where it's almost a disadvantage to sound like a singer.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Vic Damone and Steve Lawrence and Jack Jones and these guys that really do, Bob Goulet, they sound like singers. They're some of the all-time great singers. It's very uncommercial. You know, and the
They're
broader
not recording
sense.
today.
It's very hard for them to, you know, almost no record company wants to take a chance on them with all the great things they've done and what they're capable of. But the Kingston Trio were just they were exuberant young college kids, you know, and so they were just communicating with other people who not only thought they could sing as well as the Kingston Trio, but could.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of them today, a lot of the top artists today that are selling millions and millions of records are people who a few years ago, just from a singing standpoint, you know, they'd have been laughed out of anybody's office or studio. But now the very fact that they don't sound like singers, like Rod Stewart, for example, very few people selling more records than Rod.
Right.
And yet he sounds like his throat got run over just yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And he got up and started recording, and he's having and he does have a talent, but it's just that singing sound that we think of is not there.
Yeah, but will he have a 25-year career like you had, or is it 25? Let me just think for a second.
It's 22 now.
22.
1955 was when I started. Yeah. Well,
how old were you when you started? Tricky way of
I was
finding
19.
19 and 22 is 32.
40. No, maybe I was 20 then. Well, anyway, I'm 43 almost.
43.
I'm 42 now. So I'll save you all that. You don't have to get out the calculator.
Like you when I'm 43. Pat Boone is here. Let me take a minute out. St. Clair Roofing is, you can say a thing like that, as good as television has been to you.
Well, I just wanted to make you feel good.
Oh,
It
okay.
has been good, and I do enjoy some of it, but I really do mean that a lot of television is just pure junk now. It's
Yeah, it is.
amazing to me.
It's a waste of time.
Mhm.
And it's a terrible thief of time.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Well, I heard the other day that nowadays, when high school kids graduate, they've spent more time watching television than they have in class. Truly.
It's sad because
Yeah.
they're not going to get anything from it.
No, it's like junk food.
It really is.
Yeah.
I would think that you could take the average television viewer at the end of an afternoon or an evening's viewing and say, well, now you were there 4 hours. What'd you see?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. You know.
Right, yeah.
You don't know.
It has a numbing sort of, well, it's like, I hope I'm not stepping on any toes, but it's like processed sugar.
Yeah.
A little of it's okay, but when you really get addicted to it and you just have to be stuffing something sweet in your mouth all the time, the way so many of us are.
What'd you look at me for?
No,
Why do you
no,
look
no,
at
I'm
me when
guilty
you
of it.
said
I've got a big sweet tooth,
Eh?
but I'm really fighting it because I realize that a lot of it's just sort of an addiction. You just want something sweet, and
It's like smoking.
yeah,
You just have to be doing something. Those
Mhm.
poor weaklings that
and
just
it
have to
doesn't
have
mean
a
a thing.
cigarette
In
all
fact,
the
it even
time.
hurts you a little bit.
Sure, it's not good for you.
Hmm. But we get
Could I
used
have
to
one
it.
of those while you?
Yeah. What Bill said, I thought you'd quit, and you said I quit buying them.
Yes.
Mhm.
Well, you have saved a fortune since I've started smoking somebody else. Let's have a word here about Con's baloney, because
This is a class show, no doubt about it.
yeah. Have you noticed that? I could ruin your career in the Midwest for you till we get to the network. 7 minutes before 11 o'clock. Do you have to leave at 10 after? Because we go to the news at 11 and we don't come back till 11:15. You couldn't stay till 11:30? No, you have to
Well,
go.
close maybe. There is a
Aren't you
video
having a
thing. It's
good
a new
time?
thing that
You know
it's
what
like
it is?
this, but with pictures, and we have to go do that
Oh,
soon.
that
but
stuff.
before
That's
noon anyway.
bad for your health.
It's well, it invades on your privacy a good bit.
Certainly does. You're not having a good time. That's why you
You
want
couldn't
to
go
leave
on
early.
TV like this,
Why?
like the way you are now, well, topless. First of all, men very seldom work topless on
Yeah.
television.
I thought it would be a little surprised if you came in and found me sitting here in my.
And those army shoes and everything.
You're not having a good time, are you? That's
Yeah.
why you're ducking.
You
You don't like
I am.
No, you're uncomfortable.
But
Come
that's
on,
the
admit
bane
it.
of my existence because I enjoy everything I do and I never get to do it enough.
I used to feel that way. Which are
And
the
why am I laughing out loud and you're sitting here laughing silently, letting me get in trouble?
which are the friendliest stores in town? That's a shame. I kind of thought you could stay longer. Pat Boone is going to have to leave. You're at the Breckenridge in Fenton. I do want to stress
Yes.
that because it's
Yeah. And the roof is fixed and it's
not
wonderful.
leaking.
No.
anymore. You could come back tomorrow if you want to come back. You know who's going to be here tomorrow? Our new governor.
Oh, he is.
Yes, he is. The last governor, I viciously attacked a red sport coat that he wore one day.
Uh-oh.
We became fast friends.
And he's out of office.
Yes, I ruined him
Mhm.
politically.
Yeah.
That's why the
A
new
thing like
governor,
that'll do it.
Governor Teasdale, is coming in personally
Uh-huh.
to mend fences. tomorrow.
Somebody's advised him what to wear and so on.
I hope so.
What you like in the way of clothes.
Yeah, I don't mind your outfit today.
I thought I was, conservative, but still got the white shoes so people believe it's me
Mhm.
and not my son.
Always wear white shoes?
Not always, but most often I feel most like myself in white shoes.
I always felt the white shoes kind of tied in with a white wedding dress some way.
Yeah, but I couldn't wear that, so I just wear the I just wear the white shoes.
Well, I hope you come back. If not this time, next time.
Okay, and I've really enjoyed it.
It was just all too short. Pat Boone is at Breckenridge Ramadian out in Fenton, and I hope you get out and see the show.